Alright guys, so now I'm gonna explain every single new plant in this update. So basically, like the pets, you want to go to the queen bee and you want to trade your honey, and basically this is where you can get the new plants. So we're gonna cover all three, but first we're gonna do the nectarine seed. So the nectarine seed, hopefully I'm saying that right, has a minimum value of 35,000 shekels. So it is a pretty decent plant, especially if you're brand new and still starting this game off. This is definitely a very good starter seed or plant. You can either get the seed for 40 honey if it does go in stock. To be honest with you, this is not worth the 400 robux because I feel like you can get way much better with 400 robux. Plus this game isn't really pay to win, so it's not really worth it. I do have to mention though that this nectarine seed is very small, but it produces up to 10 fruits, so it is like a little tree. I'm gonna pull up an image of the actual plant when it's fully grown so you guys know how it looks like. So it's basically just like a starter plant or a very like typical common plant, so it's nothing too crazy. And then now let's go into the high fruit seed. So this high fruit seed has a way worse minimum value than the nectarine seed, as this high fruit seed only has a minimum value of 6,000 shekels. If you're planning to sell these seeds or plants rather than trading them in for honey, you definitely want to go for the nectarine seed and definitely not the high fruit seed, because it's not really worth it if you sell it unless you get a crazy mutation and crazy weight. That's really the only way where it's worth to sell the high fruit seed. And just like the nectarine seed, you can buy this for either 40 shekels or 600 robux. Like the nectarine seed as well, you definitely do not want to spend 600 robux for a seed like this. This is definitely a scam and it is not worth it at all. Now this high fruit seed apparently does get pretty big in size, kind of like the moon blossom in the moon knight event, so you might have some pretty big high fruit seeds or plants, but do not get baited by the size, because I'm not gonna lie, this is not really worth that much. Now we're gonna head into the flower seed pack. As you see here, we have 6 different type of flowers here, all look very beautiful, but now we're gonna start off with the rose plant. So the rose plant is honestly even somehow worse than the nectarine or the high fruit, with this being possibly the worst value plant in the update. I know that's kind of crazy or might be funny to say, but it is the honest truth. To be honest with you, this is like the carrots out of all the plants. These are just starter plants or just like little plants that don't really go for a lot. But anyways, the rose has a minimum value of 4,500 shekels, meaning that it's not really worth it. It's basically, like I said, like a carrot. Now, as for this foxglove flower, this is definitely where things start to get better. Now, it is a 25% chance, so this is still a fairly decent chance of getting this. You definitely want to get this over the rose. So like I said, for the nectarine seed, this is probably a very good starter plant, especially if you are so brand new to this game, because there are millions of people that are probably still starting off this game. So if you are one of those new players, a foxglove would definitely help you a lot. Now, like I said, it is more rare to get at 25, but it is definitely achievable compared to like the sunflower that has a 0.5. And then the next plant we have here is the lilac or lilac. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So this one is definitely way more rare, but like I said, for the foxglove, you can definitely still get this very easily. So I feel like you would either probably most of the times either get foxglove or lilac depending on your luck, or you could be very lucky and get sunflower off rip. But anyways, this lilac has a 31k minimum value, so this definitely could be a pretty good flower as well. Definitely want to aim for this one as well if you are a brand new beginner. But I can't even lie, the lilac is a pretty slow growing crop, because I did ask around and a lot of my friends did say it takes a very long time for this to grow. So make sure you get a watering can or something to speed up that process, but there's really not that much to it, and that's basically it. Now heading into the more rare ones, we're first going to start with the pink lily with only a 10% chance. So this pink lily has a minimum value of anywhere from 50,000 to 85,000 shekels. So it does depend on your size and the weight and everything and all the mutations. But like I said earlier, a lot of these plants will be used to trade in for honey. But if you are looking to sell these, this is definitely one of the better ones as well. It is a multi-harvest crop, so it does produce one crop at a time, but it will keep regenerating over and over again. So that's pretty good for the pink lily. But if you do end up getting this pink lily, it is still a pretty decent plant. Obviously, like I said, you want to aim for the purple delilah or the sunflower, but yeah, the pink lily is still pretty decent. And next we have the purple delilah being at a 4.5% chance, so definitely the second rarest one out of all the plants. And this purple delilah has a minimum value of 70,000, so that's a very good minimum value, and it does grow up to 4 flowers at a time. And like always, it is reharvestable, so you are going to keep regenerating flowers over and over again. So the purple delilah is very good. The average kg for the purple delilah is around 11 kg, so honestly you could fill up this whole honey tank with only only one purple Delilah. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this purple Delilah is very worth it. But like the lilac here, it is a very slow growing crop, so make sure you use your watering plants or your sprinklers to speed up that process. But yeah, a very good plant overall, and if I honestly got this one, I wouldn't really be upset because I could honestly farm a lot of honey with this, and I could always buy more packs with more honey. And yeah, I feel like this is just overall a very good plant. And last but not least, we got the sunflower at the most rare, being at a 0.5% chance. But I'm not gonna lie, this is the best plant in the game and possibly better than the cotton candy plant. So the minimum value of the sunflower is anywhere from 150k to 200k shekels, which is way better than cotton candy, meaning that this is possibly the best plant right now in the game. That means the sunflower sells for 10k shekels for every 10 kg. So if you have a 250 kg sunflower, that means you're gonna get 250k shekels just off this sunflower alone. But that's not even adding up any mutations, because imagine if you could get this shocked or whatever, or honestly any mutation. And if you do need a mutation guide, I do have one on my channel, but make sure to watch this whole video first. But yeah, with the amazing minimum value comes with an amazing rarity with a 0.5%. But in my honest opinion, I feel like for the nectarine and the high fruit seed, you definitely should not focus on selling these. You should focus more on trading these in for honey, especially for the high fruit seed, which basically has no value at all. And especially for the rose, I feel like the rose is more just for aesthetics because the rose is very light in kg as well. But starting off from the foxglove to the sunflower, this is where you definitely might want to consider selling these, especially if you're newer to the game and you don't have that much shekels or that much money. But of course, you do want to aim for these top three ones, the pink lily, purple delight, or sunflower. If you get one of these three, you're still ending up winning because you are getting one of the rarer plants. And I'm not gonna lie, you can always trade for these seeds, but make sure you're very careful with that. I do hope you enjoyed this very in-depth guide about everything new, and I hope this helps you a lot. Make sure to share this to your friends or anyone that plays Grow a Garden, as this will definitely help them a lot. But thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more news and updates, and I'll see you in another video.